Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you've been able to join with other women today for this gingerbread event. It looks a little different to how we've done it in the past, but I guess it's hardly surprising given how different the last year or two have been for all of us. Many of you may not know me, I might be a new face, so let me introduce myself briefly. My name is Stacey and I head up the Women's Ministry Committee here for Grace Anglican Church's Camden Valley. And we usually host a Christmas themed event at this time of year, which is a great opportunity for us to get together for some festive fun, but also to reflect on what Christmas is really all about, and particularly what Jesus, that baby in the manger, grew up to do and why he entered our world. So let me explain the format for today before we get underway. The first thing is we will have an instructional video from the Gingerbread bakery that has supplied the kits for today. The video shows a step-by-step of how to assemble your house, and I'd really recommend watching it because there are a few little tips and tricks to be aware of before you launch in. My top tip is to make sure you don't cut too big a hole in the end of your piping bag, otherwise it ends up being a bit messy and a bit of a disaster. And remember, you can pause the video at any time, you can rewatch it if you need to, and there should also be an instruction sheet in your video kit that you can look at. After the instructional video, you will start assembling your house, but there'll be a time when you need to pause and you need to let the walls dry, and then there'll be a time when you need to pause to let the roof dry. And I'd ask that at that time you come and join the video again, because we will have a short talk from Cara Hartley about the peace that we can have because of Christmas. After the talk, your house should be nicely set and dry and ready to decorate. So thanks again for joining us for this event. I hope that it's a lot of fun and a great time to connect with other women, particularly after such a long time being in isolation and apart from one another. But one final thing to say before we get underway is that we'd love for you to take some photos of your group as you work together and some photographs of your final gingerbread creations. And then if we could share those on the Grace Anglican Church Facebook page, that would be great. Even though we aren't together as a big group, that allows us to connect a little bit and see what others have been up to today. And we might also display some of those photos at church. But now here's Emma Jordan from Jordan's Gingerbread with some instructions on how to assemble your house.
Hi, I'm Emma from Jordan's Gingerbread, and welcome to our instructional video on how to build a gingerbread house. So let's start with what we've got in our kit first. We've got our house pieces, our silver board, our preloaded icing in a piping bag, our special ribbon fastener. This is going to help us to hold the roof on later on. And our kit can come with cello or without cello. That's an option. Okay, so to start, the first step is to lay out our gingerbread pieces. So with the gingerbread pieces, there's two surfaces. There's the raised surface and the inside surface, which is a flatter surface. This surface will need to go facing upwards on the board. So we put the stars down. These are our wall pieces. They're the side walls. We've got our tree pieces at the end walls. Again, we lay them so the flat surface sits upright, like so. Perfect. Now we're going to snip our icing bag. So we normally snip from about 2 centimetres from the tip of our icing bag to get a good steady stream of icing through the bag. What we do is we push the icing down. Okay, so once you've pushed all your icing down to the tip, you need to twist the bag, lay it in the palm of your hand between your thumb and your forefinger, and you're going to press with gentle pressure with your other 4 fingers, to get the icing to pipe nicely. Okay, so then we're going to pipe icing onto the bottom edge of each of our gingerbread pieces and lay them back on the board, like so. Now then we're going to pipe on the inside surface of the tree wall pieces. Close to the edge, this is going to help the star wall pieces to stand up. Okay, now we're going to stand our gingerbread pieces up. So we take the two wall pieces and we're going to make an L shape. With these, we just press the star wall inside the tree wall. Press it together, hold for a couple of seconds, and we're going to do the same with the other two pieces. It's very simple. Just pressing the gingerbread into the icing. That's like the glue sticks it together. And then we're just going to adjust our house to make sure it's sitting squarely. So we're going to pipe some icing along the inside join between the walls just to strengthen the house. This step's important for stability of the house. And we're going to pipe also along the inside base line. Now we're going to lay our ribbon fastener over the top of the gingerbread house. It's had 10 minutes to set now, so it's right to get ready to put on the roof. So with our ribbon fastener, we need to have the scratchy side of the Velcro facing up and the longer part of the Velcro facing down, like so. I'm going to pipe some icing over the apex of the house. This is going to stick our roof onto the house. So we grab our roof pieces. Again, we like to have the raised surface facing outwards. That's the outside surface, flat surface on the inside. We're going to pop our roof on the glue, on the icing. We want the top of the roof pieces just to touch, and we're going to press it in for about 5 seconds. And then we're going to pull our ribbon fastener up and do up the Velcro.
All right, so if you haven't started assembling your houses, now is the time to pause this video, and then I'll see you again when the roof is on your house and drying. So hopefully by now, the walls are set and your roof is on and drying. While it dries, we have a talk from Cara Hartley. Cara is the Archdeacon for Women's Ministry here in the Anglican Diocese of Sydney, which means she is someone who's passionate about sharing the good news of Jesus with women and also about equipping women to serve in the church. So here's Cara with a talk for us.
Christmas 2021, well, we're finally here, and isn't it wonderful to be at this time of the year, to be able to celebrate and enjoy it together. Given how disruptive our year has been, perhaps frustrating for you, maybe even distressing or at least chaotic. Perhaps this year more than most, like me, the theme of peace at Christmas is very appealing to you. We all do crave peace, don't we, of one kind or another. Perhaps for you it just is that less chaos, a more calm time. Coming out of lockdown has been really enjoyable, but I almost want to go back to that time of less chaos, just less busy during the week. Perhaps the peace you crave is a peace of mind, a mind free from anxiety or worry. Perhaps the peace you crave is more like a solace, that me time, there on the lounge with a cuppa, just having some time out. Well, the problem is with all of these kinds of peace, they just don't last, do they? The phone rings, the text message comes in, the kids need help, it's time to get off to work, and suddenly that moment of peace is shattered. Wouldn't it be great if we could just bottle those moments? Well, this Christmas, I do want to offer you a more lasting peace, a more substantial peace. This Christmas, I want to talk about the peace that comes with Jesus. Peace is often a word we associate with Christmas, of course. It's often on our cards and our decorations. And it's in those famous Christmas carols we sing. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King, peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. And if you come back to the night of Jesus' birth, where the angels appeared before the shepherds, they proclaimed in a loud voice, glory to God in the highest heaven, and on earth peace on those whom his favour rests. This is the story of Christmas, the story of peace. Jesus' birth is the story of peace. Jesus came to bring us peace. With his birth comes the peace we all really need. Yet, even as I say that, you might wonder, well, if that's what Jesus came to do, to bring peace, then surely he's failed, because while we create those moments of peace, those times of peace, true peace seems to still elude us. Think of our own relationships. They can often be filled with frustration or disharmony. Sometimes they can be quite fractured. They're not always peaceful. And if that's true of our own relationships and our own community, think about across the world, even this year in places like Afghanistan. We've seen deep and awful conflict, very little peace at all. Yet, while we still need peace across our world and in our relationships, this isn't the kind of peace Jesus has come to bring. Jesus brings a peace between God and us. As the carol proclaims, God and sinners reconciled. You see, by nature, we are at war with God. We are not at peace with him. By our nature, whether subtly or silently, we have all rejected God. We have all refused to acknowledge him in some way. But the whole story of Christmas is that God, our Maker, reaches out to us to bring us back into relationship with him, to repair and re-establish the relationship between him and us. And the Christmas story is a story of Jesus, who comes to bring a peace that lasts, the peace between us and God, our Maker. Well, how does he achieve that? Well, that is where the Easter story comes in, because he does it by giving up his life, going to a cross and dying in our place, the innocent one standing in for us, the one who's never been at war with God, standing in our place and taking the punishment we deserve. And when he rises again, that great Easter Sunday story, he breaks down the barrier between us and God, bringing peace for those on whom God's favour rests. This is the message of the angels, and this is the most important question for us this Christmas. Are you someone on whom God's favour rests? Are you someone who has recognised what Christmas is about? Are you someone who is trusting in what Jesus has come to do? Will you trust the one who brings peace? Not just at Christmas, but a lasting peace. Will you trust the one who's paid the cost to end the hostility between us and God? That's my prayer for you this Christmas. That as you crave peace, the peace you really crave is to be reconciled with God, no longer at war with him. And that peace that will come not just for today, but for eternity. That you will know and understand who Jesus is, the one we celebrate at Christmas, who has come to bring us peace. God bless you, and I hope that you have a merry and peace-filled Christmas.
Well, I hope Kara's talk was thought-provoking for you and got you thinking about peace in a different way. It certainly helped me to have a better understanding of why peace is such a common theme featured in our carols, in our Christmas songs, and on our decorations and Christmas baubles. But not world peace, not interpersonal peace, not even a peaceful break, but peace with God. So I echo Kara's prayer and pray that you will want that peace and you will find it in Jesus this Christmas. And a great way to learn more and to keep thinking about Jesus at this time of year would be to join us at our Grace Anglican Church Christmas gatherings. Come along to our fabulous carols on Christmas Eve, which in my slightly biased but humble opinion is the best carols going. It's even better than carols in the domain. And of course you can join us for church on Christmas Day. So I'll leave you now to go decorate your house and to chat, but please remember, take some photos of the finished product and share those on the Grace Anglican Church's Facebook page. God bless and happy decorating.